The system's not. Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Crossroads. Um, I am sorry about the induction. We have got gremlins. Anyway, it's nice weather out there. It's nice weather out there. I have got something to tell you, and it's very important. This week, before we get onto Mark Memphis, this week we have got the one and only Reverend Kelly. Remember Reverend Kelly? He was from the Britain's Got Talent, and he was a reverend. He was dressed up. He was singing. He got to the semi-finals of Britain Got Talent. We've managed to scoop him, and he's on tomorrow night, so that should be good. And he's done well for himself. And also, we got Peter Piper on very soon too. So, and another guest, but I'm not allowed to say anything at the moment until about 3 days before prior. So there you go. But in the meantime, I've got my favorite, one of my favorites on, and that's Mark Memphis. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Hello, thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Anyway, how you been getting on with this weather outside?
The only thing you can do with weather like this is enjoy it. That's all you can do, and that's what I've been doing. Out and about today, here, there, and everywhere, zigzagging all over the place. Yeah, nice.
It's good when you. It's good basically when you live by the sea, though, isn't it? It's like we live by the sea, and it's so
Oh,
lovely when it's really good. I wish I could go
well,
down the.
you're the lucky one. I mean, the coast is either side of where I am is about a 90-minute drive. So you're very, very lucky.
Gosh, where are you then? Where are you in the country? Don't say where you
Bradford,
are. But...
in Bradford, in West Yorkshire. So right in the centre of the map, basically.
Right, Bradford.
Yeah.
Oh, that football team. Yeah, Bradford. Right, okay. Anyway, are you a Bradford City supporter?
I'm not a football supporter at all. I can't stand the game. It's boring. So that's killed that conversation.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah.
So how you been getting on with the with everything going online? Because now you probably got some gigs sorted out. Have you got any gigs lined up?
Yeah, I've got where are we now? Back end of April. I'll be doing my first proper gig in about 4 weeks' time when the pubs open properly. Right. And then they're gradually building up. It's more towards June, July, and August where my bookings really pick up. A lot of the venues at the moment they have been cautious. They've not wanted to book anything until they've known for sure that it's not going to be a wasted effort, especially with all the to-ing and fro-ing of last year. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking really good. Really looking forward to it.
It's probably kind of like making you entertainers a bit, itchy now. You want to get out there. You're fed up with online stuff now. You want to get out there and play to the public, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's a huge difference. It's very strange sometimes doing online gigs at home because you don't know who you're singing to. You'll see messages popping up, but you can sometimes be a bit too preoccupied to read them at the time. It's usually after the shows that you do when you'll go back and you'll see what people are saying, and they might be saying, "Oh, can you do this song?" or "Hi, you're looking great," or "You're sounding great," or those sort of things that you see flashing up on people's live feeds. It's a completely different kettle of fish doing a gig, and I can't wait for it
because it's live and you're getting paid for it and everything.
Well,
yeah.
Nice to get paid again. Yeah,
it'd be good, wouldn't it? Paid at the end of the evening for what you're doing.
Yeah, and yeah, and certainly for me, and I know it's the case for many other singers and entertainers that I know, it's like an added bonus getting paid. You know, it's such an enjoyable, rewarding thing to do, by and large. So yeah,
Mm.
that's,
With the entertainment industry where you are in the north, I remember when I last time I went to Blackpool on holiday. I was going around all the clubs, all the social clubs, and I tell you what, really good entertainment,
mm,
brilliant entertainment. I tell you what, it's best than in where I live, and that's saying for the entertainment. And and the trouble is up there, okay, in Blackpool it was cheap drink and it was because it's like entertainment, it's the entertainment industry up there, but and up north it's so kind of like there's loads of entertainers going for all these pubs and clubs and everything. So are you based with an agency or do you work on your own?
bit of both. I'm not managed by an agent. I'm not, sort of like on an agent's books exclusively. I the last count, I think I'm with 6 agents on a freelance basis. So they'll have a gig for me, and if I'm available, I can do it. But that takes up about 2/3 of my bookings, and then I also have my own bookings that I've got myself. At pubs, for example, which don't use agents, and they're like direct bookings.
Mm,
Um, so yeah,
mm.
but there are some
It's just
people that are
mm,
exclusively managed by an agent. They're like guaranteed work, weekend in, weekend out. That's being
yeah, yeah,
freelance, it's a little bit more uncertain. But certainly up until lockdown happened, I wasn't doing too badly. I was out virtually every Saturday night, definitely, and then there'd be some weeks I'd have 3 or 4 gigs. There might be some weekends I'd only have 2, but it kind of panned out and balanced out in the end.
yeah. And when you go around to all these pubs and the clubs and everything, do you find it very kind of like, do you have something planned? Right, I'm going to plan this for tonight. Then all of a sudden you've got something planned. The next minute, hey mate, can you do a dedication for me, please? Do you ever get like that? Do you ever get
Yeah, yeah, we all get those. The show I do, it's pretty much because it's 50s and 60s music. It's the show's pretty much arranged anyway, and it's set when I get there, and I don't really get people trying to interfere with that by saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that," or "You can't do that." And then you do get people that ask for a request. I mean, I have a set, and it'll have 39 songs in, which is 3 slots and an encore. And then I have like a backlog as well of songs which I won't have planned for that particular show. And I've got about 100 songs, and there's usually something I can pull from that for a dedication. But most
mm,
people are happy to say, "Could you just say hello to," or "Could you just wish happy birthday to whoever," and you just sing the song to them, or you just happy for you to sing happy birthday to them.
mm.
So I
It,
don't get disrupted too much.
oh, good. Yeah, you don't have all these old ladies chucking pants at you like Tom Jones and everything.
Uh, Sadly, not. No. This is what I entered the business for, and as of yet, it hasn't happened. I think I need to maybe smile a bit more, be a bit more cheeky. You never know; it could happen.
You never know. You never know. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that. So, what is your first song you're going to play for us? I know you've got your
Well,
guitar there.
got guitar again. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to do. If I can find my plectrum, there it is. I'm going to do a song that was Cliff Richard's first hit single in the UK. A little song called "Move It." And this is a song I normally do in my show anyway, but this is the first time I've ever done it with just me and a guitar, and it could go completely wrong. And if it does, people
okay.
can always ask. They can always ask for the money back, can't they?
Oh
Anyway,
yes. Don't
are
worry.
we ready?
We are ready.
Shall we go?
Shall we
Okay.
go? Yeah.
Right, here we go. Come on, pretty baby, let's move it and groove it. Now shake it, baby, shake it, honey, please don't lose it. The rhythm that gets into your heart and soul. Let me tell you, baby, it's called rock and roll. They say it's gonna die, but honey, please let's face it. We just don't know what's going to replace it. The ballads and calypso's got nothing on. A real country music that just drives along. Oh, you're moving. Come on, pretty baby, let's move it and groove it. Shake it, baby, shake it, honey, please don't lose it. The rhythm that gets into your heart and soul. Let me tell you, baby, it's called rock and roll. They say it's gonna die, but honey, please let's face it. You just don't know what's going to replace it. The ballads and calypso's got nothing on. The real country music that just drives along. Oh yeah, let's move it. Oh yeah, let's move it. Oh baby, move it. Oh yeah, let's move it. Thank you very much.
Well done. Well done.
Well, thank you.
When you when you're out singing and do you ever get kind of like do people come up to you and they want a specific song and you don't know it?
Yeah.
You ever get that? You ever get that?
Yes. Yeah. What I do with that is I have a get out clause. I think I've mentioned this on a previous
Yeah.
show I've done where, because I'm 50s and 60s, I might get somebody coming up to me and say, "Can you do Sweet Caroline?" And I'll say, "I can't do that. I'm sorry, it's not within my time frame." And then there's other songs like "Human" by the Killers, which again is way beyond my time frame. "Alice" by Smokey, that's another one people sometimes ask for. Penny Arcades, God above, you know, if I had 5 pence for every time somebody asked for Penny Arcade, I'd never have to gig again. You know, I could retire quite happily. But because these songs are out of my usual sphere, I can kind of shrug it off. But then somebody will say to me, "Oh, could you do Softly as I Leave You by Matt Monroe?" And if I know it, but I don't have the music for it, there's been quite a few times where I've stood, you know, "Softly I will leave you softly," and you get the whole room singing along with you. So I just stand and I do it a cappella. If it's a song that I've never heard of in my life, some record that came out on the Top Rank label in 1961, sometimes I'll say, "Leave it with me, I'll see what I can do." And then in between slots, I'll go on YouTube, I'll be in the dressing room and I'll try to learn at least one verse of it, and then I'll go out and murder it. But that's usually the way I get around that.
Gosh. What's the highest audience you ever played? I know I've asked you this before, but we've got new people joining us, right, on the radio and everything.
Yeah.
And Gwen said, can you ask Mark what's the highest audience he's ever played in, and has he ever played at Pontins? Because I'm sure I saw him before.
Right. I have sung at Pontins. It was in 1995, and it was at Prestatyn, and it was a talent contest, which I won. And then that's the only time I've ever sung at Pontins. I didn't go to Pontins as an entertainer or anything. I just, I entered a talent contest. I sang "The Wonder of You" by Elvis, and I was up against somebody who played the spoons, up against another singer who fell apart, and somebody else who I can't remember. So if your listener was in the audience that night, first of all, I congratulate and admire her memory. And so I have done Pontins. To be honest with you, that's probably the biggest audience I played to, because it was quite a large concert room. You can see it in one of the movies, on the buses movies. They go to a holiday camp, and it was the Prestatyn one. And it's got that massive concert room, and it's absolutely packed with people. So it was probably about 500 or 600 people in there. So
Yeah.
So that's
Um,
probably the biggest.
Linda wants to know: do you ever go to Weymouth, or do
Never
you
been
just
to never
no?
been to Weymouth in my life. I can just about pronounce it, but no, I've never been to Weymouth. But
Uh,
this could be the year when old ladies chucking knickers on stage, going to Weymouth. I've got it all to come, so you never know.
yeah. Richard wants to know: what's it like singing around the social clubs in the northeast?
Um, it's good. It's I enjoy it. I do. I mean, there's a bit of a legend, shall we say, if that's the right word, about northern clubs, and it's usually quite true. They do
Mm.
give you quite a tough time. They can appear to be very, very disinterested and aloof. And if you are going down badly, which I have
They would let you
seen,
know. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, they'll let you know. You can hear it. You can't even hear yourself sing because, and you've got all your amplified music coming through, and they're just talking really loud, and they'll say really horrible things. So the northern audiences can be very, very, very brutal. Um, but fortunately for me, because I'm singing songs which to me are like evergreen songs. That these are the classics and the classics for a reason. You get these like young lasses who are in the 20s and they're singing stuff from the charts, and they sing it very well, and there's nothing wrong with the performance, but it's not what that particular club or that audience wants. And like I say, I've seen the brutality um, that's generated in the
mm,
room, and it's quite off-putting, really. You've got to have a very, very thick skin as well to sing in pubs and clubs, because not
oh yeah,
everybody's there to listen to you. And I've done gigs where I've had no applause whatsoever, and that can be quite crippling. It certainly is when it first happens to you. But then at the end of the night, you've got people coming and say that was the best term I've had all year, and or when
yeah. But they only say that when they're drunk, Mark.
well, thank you very much for building me up buttercup there. Yeah, no, but it's probably true. But yeah, but some audiences are like that. They don't want to be over demonstrative and
Yeah, yeah,
clap,
yeah,
but you can
yeah,
see they're appreciating it. The fact
yeah.
that the concert secretary will say, "Oh, we're definitely having you back." Sure, did they really enjoy it? I didn't hear anything. They've all been coming up to me saying you're brilliant. So thanks very much.
Yeah, I'm only joking.
I
But the
know.
trouble is, you do play like 50s, 60s music and everything. And the trouble is, that is your genre, isn't it? That is what you love playing.
Mm,
And the trouble is, I love that sort of music. I can't stick with that old rubbish rap stuff, and
mm,
I don't think that is music. I think, and anything under the, like the 70s downwards, I don't mind.
yeah.
You know, what is your favorite era? What is your favorite year? Is it the 50s, 60s, 70s?
For music,
Yeah, yeah.
probably I'd say probably the 60s, because I don't just like the sort of music that I sing, the 50s and the 60s music, like Elvis, Cliff, Roy Orbison. I like a lot of music, like blues music. I absolutely adore the early Rolling Stones records, Manfred Mann, the Paul Jones era. I don't like Northern Soul, but I like Southern Soul, which is it's stuff like Aretha Franklin and Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man, stuff like that. I absolutely adore
Mm,
that. And that's like late 60s. Not too keen on the 1970s, if I'm honest.
mm,
Although, from an Elvis fan perspective, I think most of the most of the records which I absolutely adore by Elvis were actually later ones from the 70s, because simply because I thought he looked better, and I thought he sang better during those years. I
mm,
actually don't
mm.
mind 1980s stuff, if I'm honest. But that's probably because that's the music that was around when I was growing up, and I didn't particularly enjoy it at the time. I certainly didn't buy it. A lot of the groups I liked in the 1980s were like indie
Mm.
bands and stuff like that, like the Smiths and the Wedding Present. I always liked Elvis, and I think I've always just loved good songs and good singers.
Mhm.
Um,
Is Mark Memphis your actual name?
no, it's a stage name. My real name is Mark Nichols, as in Viv, the Pools winner. But
Ah,
Mark Memphis, obviously Memphis because of I chose the name Mark Memphis when I was an Elvis tribute. Um, you know, 11, 12 years ago when I started doing that. That's where the Memphis thing came
yeah,
from,
yeah,
obviously, 'cause
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where Elvis lived.
yeah.
Um, and then when I was a DJ and a karaoke host for, in the years between being the Elvis tribute and what I'm doing now, I kept the name Mark Memphis. And I think I've said this to you before in short. It's, to me anyway, it's a name that looks good on a poster or written down or printed. It just, because of the style of the letters, they're all quite solid
Mm.
looking letters. Um, I think it's a nice little name.
Of
And
course it is. Of course it is. Okay, what you
yeah,
gonna play for us now then?
I'm going to sing an Elvis Presley song. I think a song from the '60s, and it's a song called "His Latest Flame." Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. Let's do
All
this.
right.
A very old friend came by today. Oh, he was telling everyone in town all the love that he just found and the reasoning of his latest flame. He talks and talks, and I heard him say that she had the longest blackest hair, prettiest green eyes anywhere, and the reasoning of his latest flame. And though I smiled, the tears inside were burning. I wished him luck, and then he said goodbye. He was gone, but still his words kept returning. What else was there for me to do but cry? Would you believe that yesterday this girl was in my arms and swore to me she'd be mine eternally? And Maria's the name of his latest flame. Oh, Maria's the name of his latest flame. Yeah, Maria's the name of his latest flame.
Well done.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend.
Right.
Sorry, you're making me laugh here. Um, what we got here? Oh, right. Okay, Doreen wants to know what is your favourite Elvis song? Probably some of these questions I repeat. All right.
Yes, you've definitely
So,
asked this one before.
yes,
My favourite
Doreen.
Elvis song,
Yeah.
yeah, is "In the Ghetto." It's a, it's a, it's perfect in every single way. From every single line that he sings in that, it's beautifully sung. It was a departure as well for Elvis. That song. It's quite a social commentary sort of song because he was usually more familiar with singing rock and roll songs or love songs and ballads or silly movie songs about impotent bulls or winning a speed car race. But in the ghetto, a song about poverty in America and gun crime and hopelessness. That was a real departure for Elvis, and you wouldn't have known that from his performance. Like I say, it's so beautifully sung, and it's a fantastic song. So
There
there
you
you
go,
go.
Dorian. Mark's probably getting fed up with me asking all the same questions, but there you go. Um, what else we got here? Um, Louis said, would it be possible if you can play a gospel song for my nan? She is 80 today.
Let me see. I'm being put on the spot here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Um, this was on an Elvis Presley religious album, and it's called Milky White Way. And I've never ever done this live before, so my God, let's see. I'll see how far I can get with it before it falls apart.
Don't worry, recording commercials.
Right. Yes, I'm gonna walk on that Milky White Way. Oh Lord, please. Hang on, let's try a different key. Yes, I'm gonna walk on that Milky White Way. Oh Lord, one of these days. No, I can't.
That's it. Okay, sorry about that. But if you can't play a gospel song, can you? Is there any chance if you can play "Love Me Tender"?
Oh,
Ooh.
I have to use my fingers for this. Love me tender, love me long, take me right. Right, I've got the chords. So. Love me tender, love me long, take me to your heart. For it's there that I belong and will to part. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
And now I know how it felt to be in ancient Rome, fed to the lions. I look like a gladiator, don't
I? Sorry, Mark. Sorry.
No, it's all a bungee jump. It's good stuff.
God, if I bungee jump, I won't. Right. Okay. Marie wants to know. How long have you been playing the guitar for?
Since I was 13, I got a guitar for my 13th birthday, and the style of guitar playing that I sort of like picked up and developed, it was more for like indie music, you know, sort of jingly jangly stuff or Oasis sort of stuff, you know, like bit of Oasis, cigarettes and alcohol, or
Queen.
Smiths. No, I couldn't. I've never done Queen. Never done Queen. Or the Smiths. That kind of jingly jangly.
Yeah.
I don't really use guitar when I do the gigs I'm doing. I sing to backing tracks, but because I don't have anything set up here, you know, I can grab a guitar and try and cobble something together.
Yeah. Okay. You're really trying, don't worry. Ross wants to know, can you play another 60s song, please?
I can. What can I do? I don't know if this is a 60s. I think it might be a 60s song, an early 60s. I'm not quite sure. A Johnny Cash song.
What's it called?
Coming out, Folsom Prison Blues. Is that? Is that 50s?
Early 60s, isn't it? It's early 60s.
If that's early 60s, then
Yeah.
We're coming out of lockdown, and we've all been in a Folsom prison of our own for the past year, so you know we can all relate to this one. I hear that train coming, it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in Folsom prison. Time keeps dragging, and that train just keeps on moving down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head. Well, if they free me from this prison, this railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little further down the line. So far from Folsom Prison, and that's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow on my blues. I'm Johnny Cash. Oh Lord.
What else we got? Um, when you do your gigs and everything, and like when you're on stage and everything, do you ever get nervous or what?
No, not when I'm doing. Not about singing. I do get nervous when I'm setting up because I always have it in my mind that I've forgotten something, or I always have it in my mind that tonight's the night the amplifier's not going to work. So that I have these kind of little irrational fears, which I mean, one of these nights I'm going to forget something, and my amp isn't going to work. But never about actually going out and singing. And that that sounds very, that can sound almost conceited and big-headed, and it isn't. It's where I feel at home,
Yeah.
and singing songs I love. I've never, I'm quite a shy person.
You
Behind the
shy?
scenes. Yeah, behind the scenes I am. Yeah, if I was to walk into a party, I'd be the wallflower, and that's it. That's the God's honest truth. Yeah, if that party required somebody to get up and sing, I'd be in the middle of the room quicker than you can say egomaniac.
um, um, Claire wants to know: do you ever go on Elvis tribute artists?
Do I ever go on them? You mean, do I ever
Yeah.
take part in those shows?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, no. Even when I was an Elvis tribute, I never did. The I don't want to put anything down, and certain things aren't for you, in life, and they look like they're a lot of fun, but going to a full weekend or a full day of watching Elvis after Elvis after Elvis, yeah, that isn't my idea of a good time. But
right. Okay.
it's it's not something I ever felt inclined to do, and the work, I mean, there's still competitions,
Yeah.
I think there's competition planned for the end of this year, but people enjoy them, and all power to those that enjoy them, organise them, take part in them. They're keeping, they're enjoying themselves, they're keeping the legacy alive, and by and large, there's a few that don't do it positively, in my opinion, because that's the other thing as well. There's nothing like a brilliant Elvis tribute. Nothing like it at all. It's fantastic. You get involved. You're there singing along. When there's a terrible Elvis tribute, one that doesn't sound like it. They've got the cheap. I've spoke to you about this before. The cheap pajama style jumpsuit that looks like a satin pillowcase with a few little stones in, and all I want to do is just leave, and anyway. So the answer to that question is no.
Not even on Facebook.
No. I did. The last time I was on your show 4 weeks ago, I went on a Facebook group called Elvis Tribute Artists Live and Kicking, because I had a few people that wanted to see me sing nothing but Elvis songs. So I went on, and I wasn't wearing a jumpsuit. I didn't have my hair black. I wasn't talking like him. I was sat down on a stool, so I wasn't stood up gyrating or anything like that. And I just sung some of my favourite Elvis songs for an hour, and that was it. But I've never, not now. I wouldn't consider myself to be an Elvis tribute artist or an impersonator, an Elvis singer at the very most.
Right. Okay. Right. What else you going to play for us now?
Oh, a fourth song. I only had three prepared. Tell you what I'll do. I'll do an Eddie Cochran song. I think I've did this on your show before. Three Steps to Heaven. But
All
it's
right.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one that I know, and
Yeah. Yeah. I love Eddie Cochran.
oh, fantastic. Taken far too soon, like most of the greats were.
Can
But
you
anyway, we have
imagine one of the
song.
Elvis tribute acts singing that one?
Three Steps to Heaven. Yeah, I could actually, because as daft as it sounds,
Three steps to heaven.
oh, but Eddie Cochran, Billy Fury, Cliff, they all were Elvis fans, and if Elvis hadn't have happened, you wouldn't have these people, or you'd probably have them, and they'd probably be, country singers. So the American singers, like I can imagine, people like Eddie Cochran probably try to make a name for himself on the Louisiana Hayride or Grand Ole Opry or something like that, because real like rootsy rock and roll music is country music, and this whole thing of sort of like standing with guitar and collar up and doing all that like Eddie Cochran did. You as an Elvis fan, I watch those and I those bits of footage and I see Elvis. I watch Billy Fury walking around going, once was upon a dream, and his curling lip up, and it's Elvis, so I can imagine Elvis singing some of these songs. Anyway, back to the song. Now there are three steps to heaven. Just follow the routes and you will see that as life travels on and things do go wrong, just follow steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, you find a girl to love. Step 2, she falls in love with you. Step 3, you kiss and hold her tightly. Well, that sure seems like heaven to me. I'm just trying to, oh yeah, the formula for heaven is very simple. Just listen and you will plainly see that as life travels on and things do go wrong, just follow steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, you find a girl to love. Step 2, she falls in love with you. Step 3, you kiss and hold her tightly. Well, that sure seems like heaven to me. Just follow steps 1, 2, and 3.
Well done, Mark. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for joining me today.
No, a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Always.
Yeah, you do. You cheer people up. I've got around about like quite a few thank yous here on the radio and everything. Really good. Thank you so much.
That's
Brilliant.
Thank you.
You're a star. Thank you.
But Steve, are you continuing with the show, or what I read on Facebook, or is it ending? You're on about.
Well, we're trying to get sponsorship at the moment,
Right.
and we're open to carry on. We're open to carry on, but it's just kind of like it's. Can I just finish and I'll speak to you? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm still live.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. I will see everybody around about 8 o'clock tonight. Don't forget, it's country and western evening tonight, all guys. Yeah, yeah. We got a bit of Brian Treby tonight. Really good. Been on before. Really good guy. So I'll see everybody tonight around about 8 o'clock. In the meantime, take care.